From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, January the 17th, 2017. The Middle East Peace Summit took place in Paris on Sunday with some 70 foreign ministers from across the globe. As expected, the main conclusions that came out of the conference were against Jewish settlement building and for the two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians. Israel did not attend the conference, stating that peace can only be achieved through direct negotiations and not through outside parties. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry spoke at the summit and spoke over the phone to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday and told him there would be no further action at the UN regarding Israel and that if any anti-Israel resolutions did come up at the body, the U.S. would oppose them. Kerry also restated to CNN's Christiane Amanpour in an interview last night, repeating the U.S. reasoning behind the recent abstention at the UN Security Council.
We at the United Nations made the decision we made because we believe that Israel has a major choice and the Palestinians have a major choice. The choice we put to Israel is if you want to be a Jewish state and you want to be a democracy, you cannot be a unitary state. And right now, they're marching down the road because of the increased settlements, because of the absence of a legitimate negotiation towards that possibility. And all we're trying to do is speak as a good, solid, best friend of Israel. And we've done more for this government, more for Israel, than any other administration.
Meanwhile, the UN Security Council met today again on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, addressed the forum where he condemned the recent anti-Israel resolutions passed by the body and reaffirmed the Jewish historical connection to Jerusalem. Danon also said that the Palestinians must condemn terrorism and come back to the negotiating table. He said Prime Minister Netanyahu is willing to meet with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas anytime, anywhere. The U.S. representative spoke at the council as well, first condemning the recent terror attack in Jerusalem that left 4 IDF soldiers dead and over a dozen wounded, also restating the call for both sides to recommit to a two-state solution, as well as restating U.S. opposition to Israel settlement building, against Palestinian terror, and against the BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel. A Palestinian terrorist tried to stab IDF soldiers in the West Bank this morning. The incident took place near the city of Tulkarem, where a group of Israeli soldiers were guarding a security checkpoint. The man tried to attack them with a knife and was shot and killed. No soldiers were injured. The IDF was investigating the incident. Yesterday, Israel Border Police stopped and boarded a bus in Jerusalem after receiving information about a suspicious individual. They arrested a 19-year-old who was found to be in Israel illegally and was found to have a knife in his possession. During questioning, he told authorities that he had wanted to go to the Damascus Gate in the Old City to carry out a terror attack on Israeli security forces. The heads of the Council of Judea and Samaria, or Moetzet Yesha, plan to attend the inauguration ceremony this week of President-elect Donald Trump. According to a report in Makor Rishon, the group received an invitation to the ceremony in Washington by way of the Chamber of Commerce of Orthodox Jews. The Times of Israel reports that the delegation will include several top leaders, including Efrat Mayor Oded Ravivi, Mayor of Ma'ale Adumim Benny Kashriel, and the head of the Samaria Regional Council, Yossi Dagan. The Times of Israel reported today that 2 Israeli lawmakers are also planning to attend, the Knesset members and Likud party members Sharon Haskel and Yehuda Glick. Glick told the Times of Israel that he was invited to the inauguration by Hayovel, which is an organization that brings Christian volunteers to Israel, and that he was attending the inauguration in that regard and would not take part in any political events. Israel's ambassador to the United States, Ron Dermer, will also be at the ceremony. Israeli President Reuven Rivlin expressed his gratitude to outgoing President Barack Obama. In a letter given to outgoing U.S. Ambassador to Israel Dan Shapiro, the president thanked Obama for 8 years of friendship and support. Rivlin wrote, "While from time to time we may have had differences of opinion, you stood strong in the defense of the shared values of our two peoples and countries, and for this we are deeply appreciative." He told Obama that the president would always be welcome in Jerusalem. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight, for Tuesday, January the 17th. On JBS at 7 o'clock, transgender author Yiska Smith discusses her life's journey in a program of Bethel Synagogue Center of New Rochelle. At 8, Yehuda Kurtzer of the Shalom Hartman Institute North America, Einat Wilf of the Washington Institute, and author Moshe Halbertal discuss American Jewry's fight with anti-Semitism at the recent ADL convention Never Is Now. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Senior Vice President of Shalem College in Jerusalem, Daniel Gordis, on L'chaim. And at 10, Iran expert David Menashri discusses how the Iranian relationship with Jews has shifted from the days of the Shah to the current Islamic Republic in a program of ISGAP. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, January the 17th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader.